Hello, everyone. Very good evening to all of you. Glad to have you here as always. My name is Anuja, and I am meeting you today because I want to have this very important discussion with you, which is learnings from CLAD and ALET 2022. Of course, my main focus is on CLAD 2022, but I've also taken ALET into consideration because the paper pattern was quite similar this year. So, for whom is this session very important? This session is very important for, of course, CLAT 2023 aspirants, ALET 2023 aspirants who want to analyze and naturally, obviously, want to analyze the current paper to understand the learnings, the takeaways that can be helpful for them in their preparation. Okay, so in today's session, this is exactly what we will do. I will run you through the current paper. I'll tell you the question types, the sources from where those passages were taken, and after all this knowledge that you have, how can you prepare yourself better? So stay with me till the very end because this is going to be super useful for honing your preparation. Okay, so let's get started. Students, the first discussion is going to be about the orientation of the paper. See, initially, before 2020, CLAT had this orientation of a very balanced English language section because there were questions on vocabulary, grammar, there were separate questions on comprehension, and it was kind of a balanced approach, similar number of questions. But for the last three years, we have been observing that the paper is changing its orientation. It's not about vocabulary or grammar anymore, it's all about reading. They want to give you a new text, they want to catch you unawares, and they want to see how you respond to it. Can you process the information that is in front of you? They don't care about the knowledge part because no outside information is required for solving an RC. They just want to check if you read something, are you able to process it then and there? Can you overcome that fear of unknown, a new text? Oh God, what do I do? Can you go beyond that? So this year in CLAT, what happened? You got six reading comprehension passages. They were mostly non-fiction. So this was not the trend earlier. We had some storylines as well. So there was an excerpt from Sherlock Holmes and other books. But this year it was a strictly non-fiction. Non-fiction doesn't translate to boring. Non-fiction doesn't translate to difficult. It was quite interesting and very doable. But yes, it was non-fiction. And you had again those five questions each RC. So it became a set of 30 questions. But if I speak of ALET, ALET didn't have six RCs, it had nine RC passages. Yes, you got that right. Many people found it a very lengthy section, but then it was rewarding at the same time. It carried the highest number of marks. It had 50 questions to offer. So we have to prepare ourselves for long stretches of reading if this is our target, right? In CLAD, if you want to tackle six RCs, you'll at least have to sit for 30 minutes, right? In ALET, if you want to deal with nine RCs, you will minimum require 40 minutes. I'm saying 40 minutes because some RCs were quite short. They were only like 100 words, just one question on them. There were questions like that also. And this is just one section of the paper. So if let us say for 30 minutes you're dealing with the English section in CLAT, now for another 35, 40 minutes you'll be dealing with the legal section, which is again all reading. Another 30 minutes you'll be dealing with the critical reasoning section, which is again all reading. So you will have to prepare yourself for that kind of reading stamina. And that is something that I think you can straight away work from today. How will you do that? So you need to develop a stamina for 2 hours, right? Because that is the duration of the paper. But train yourself to sit for 3 hours, no breaks in between. You can keep a mixed bag. You can read some English RCs, some legal RCs. You can even have some articles in between, but sit for 3 hours. If you're not able to do it straight away, try to do it in parts. So initially, maybe try the Pomodoro technique. Are you aware of this technique? In this, they say sit for 25 minutes, take a 5 minute break. Another 25 minutes, take another 5 minute break. That's how you go for 3 hours. So that is the stamina that is a takeaway from today's session because this was a reading oriented paper. You can see this. Okay. Now that you have understood the format, let me discuss the common question types with you. There are some question types which are so expected that you will find them in every RC. For example, a question about the theme of the passage. Every question setter is interested in asking, what are you reading? You finished all the reading and you have no idea what is it, then it makes no sense, right? You have to tell the tone of the author. How does he feel about the subject matter? So first of all, what is the subject matter? How does he feel about the subject matter? Is he positively oriented towards it? Is he negatively oriented towards it? Okay, there will be some contextual vocabulary questions. They'll spot a word or an idiom or a foreign phrase, and they can ask the meaning of that expression to you. There will be some figure of speech questions. For example, in this particular line, is it a simile or is it onomatopoeia or is it personification? Those are actual options that I'm reading out for you. There are obviously some inferential questions that bother students a lot because they are there in the passage, but not directly. You don't find the answer written in line 2 or line 3. You get a hint, and on the basis of that hint, you begin your detective work step by step. And you try to think, okay, why is he saying that? What could he possibly mean if he's saying that? And that's how you infer answers. These are some common question types that were seen in CLAT 2022, and they were also seen in ELIT 2022. If I talk about the source of the text, it was mostly current news. If something is happening around you, you can expect it to find it in the paper, but you also have to prepare yourself to find the unexpected topics. In ALEC this year, there was an interview between an interviewer and an interviewee, and that was about digital play therapy. I'm sure you haven't heard about this earlier, have you? There was another text which was talking about veterinary doctors. I'm sure you don't read about that kind of topic. You don't want to become a carpenter, do you? Because there was some text about how do you make this kind of joint versus how do you make that kind of joint, and those kind of things are required, right? So there was a lot of diversity, sometimes very general topics. For example, in CLAT 2022 this year, we saw there was a text on the negative effects of technology, how apps are making people lonely. Kind of a general topic to read on. Another text was about how innovators are rarely appreciated in their times. They're always appreciated posthumously after they die. Kind of a general topic. But then there was something that is doing rounds in the editorials, which was cryptocurrency. So there was this discussion on cryptocurrency where author was very negatively biased against cryptocurrency. He thought that poor people need to be saved from this menace, which is a Ponzi scheme and is going to take their money away. So what I'm trying to tell you is that a simple fact is glaringly obvious now. If you want to clear these exams, you have to keep an eye on the reading material that is available. So newspaper editorials, Sunday versions of newspapers, general magazines, maybe some fiction, but mostly non-fiction, and of course your RCs with these question types in mind. If I talk about the difficulty level, CLAT was actually considered an easy paper this year because, like I said, only speed was an issue, but the question types, the passages, they were not typical to read. So easy to medium, that's all. I won't call it difficult. But for ALET, because it was a lengthy paper, many found it an average kind of paper. Some people even found it difficult because it was too lengthy. So the major challenge was about time management. And this is always the tussle, isn't it? If you go slow, you get good marks, but then you can't go slow. You have to speed up. That is why in the beginning I talked about stamina. When you sit for long, maybe using Pomodoro right now, but when you sit for long, you understand how to read. When you use those processes on how to read, and when you keep a timer also, right? You have to time yourself. You have to see how much time are you taking. I said 1 RC shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. So initially, it's fine. If you are not able to manage it in 5 minutes, initially, if you are taking 10 minutes, it's fine. But you have to slowly try to come back to 5 minutes, right? If you don't time yourself, you will never know how much time you're taking and what kind of work you need to do. Another thing that is very important for time management is take every mock as seriously as you would take CLAT 2023. Okay, don't think that this is fine, I can do whatever I want to do here. No, that shouldn't be the way you should think. You should take every mock super seriously, try to do everything that you know. When you attend classes, your teacher tells you what are the methods to read. Maybe they talk about when to speed up, when to speed down, what are the sentences or phrases where you should stop and pay attention, where are the parts where you should go fast, how to make summaries, right? Even we do teach you all this in our sessions. So that is what you can do to work on your time management. All right. Now, finally, I'd like to talk about the takeaways for CLAT and ALIT 2023, which I've been doing so far. So I'll tell you, please read a lot to create a good background. Keep it mostly non-fiction. Please solve a lot of RCs on a daily basis. This is make or break deal for you. If you get it, you go through. If you miss it, you can't. So please solve a lot of RCs daily. Don't be that person who solves a lot of RCs but to no avail. He doesn't understand what goes wrong. So analyze your mistakes. Okay, see a pattern. There is a pattern. Definitely, everything has a pattern. So if you are not able to see that pattern, take help of your mentors, connect with your teachers. They will show you the pattern, but analyze your mistakes, see the pattern, build a functional vocabulary. Functional. It is not important that you know thousands of words if you can't use them. There's a difference between knowing and using. So your vocabulary should be functional, active, revised, so that you spot a word and you know the meaning. So build a functional vocabulary. Special focus on learning all the figures of speech, learning all the tone words. This should be your special focus. And whatever you read, always ask yourself, what is the theme of this text? Because theme questions are definitely going to be there. I am very sure if you do these things, you will be able to clear these exams, the next exams, with a lot of ease because this is all there is. And to tell you what, this is going to be so much fun. This won't feel like studying at all. This will just feel like playing with words, reading, finding new ideas. It will be so much fun. And you have us along the way. So if at any point you feel stuck, please get in touch with us and we'll help you out. I hope this was super useful as I promised. Thanks for staying till the very end. If you want me to speak about any other topic, please leave a comment for me and I will speak on that topic. Bye bye. Have a good day. I'll see you again, everyone. Take care.